Welcome to the It's in Queens podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Simmons, and this is the only podcast that focuses on my borough of Queens. This podcast comes to you each week thanks to the Queens Economic Development Corporation and the Queens Tourism Council. Together, they showcase Queens as a destination with something for everyone, whether you live here, you work here, or you just want to visit. As the temperatures start to dip, there is no denying that fall is upon us in Queens. I don't know about you, but this is one of my favorite times of the year. There's something about the crisp air, the changing leaves, that sense of renewal that autumn brings. It's the season for cozy sweaters, pumpkin patches, and neighborhood strolls under golden trees. Even the bustling sidewalks of Queens feel just a little different this time of year. I absolutely love it. Another thing I look forward to as the weather cools is getting back into the theater for movies. There's just something magical about settling into those comfy seats, hearing the surround sound kick in, and escaping into a story on the big screen. Whether it's a blockbuster or an indie gem, going to the movies always feels like a retreat from the everyday hustle and bustle. This week, I want to share an inspiring story about a young woman who is making a difference for moviegoers. Sarah Lynn, a senior at Bronx High School of Science, is not only a dedicated student, but also a Girl Scout with a passion for inclusivity. She's been a Girl Scout for 13 years as part of Troop 4413 in Forest Hills. Sarah recently took on an incredible project that's all about making sure everyone, especially those with hearing loss, can enjoy the movies as much as she does. Through her project, Sarah embarked on a campaign to raise awareness and bring more accessibility options to theaters in Queens and beyond. And her goal? To ensure that movie theaters are equipped so that individuals with hearing impairments can have a seamless experience. And this work prompted the Girl Scouts of Greater New York recently to present Sarah with its Future Woman of Distinction Award at its 32nd annual Women of Distinction Breakfast. Sarah's story is a testament to the power of one person's drive to make a difference, and it can remind us all that we can take small steps to create a big difference in our world. Here's my interview with Sarah. Sarah Lynn, welcome to the It's in Queens podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Congratulations on your award, the Future Woman of Distinction. What did it mean to you to receive this recognition from the Girl Scouts of Greater New York?
Yeah, thank you so much. So, receiving the Future Woman of Distinction Award from the Girl Scouts of Greater New York is a tremendous honor, and it's incredibly meaningful to me. It felt like a culmination of all of the values, lessons, and service projects that I've been a part of since I've joined Girl Scouts 13 years ago. And through Girl Scouting, I've learned the importance of community, resilience, leading with compassion, and this recognition just reaffirms my commitment to these values. So, this award is also a reminder of the power we have to make a difference, and it motivates me to continue my advocacy, especially for the deaf and hard of hearing community, which is so close to my heart. So, yeah, I just want to say I'm grateful to my mentors, my troop leader, and my mom, who is also one of my troop leaders, for supporting me in every step of the way.
So let's get into the project itself. What inspired you to focus on accessibility for the deaf and hard of hearing communities in movie theaters?
Yeah, so I was inspired growing up with my mom who has severe progressive hearing loss. So I saw firsthand how challenging it was for her to access things that many of us take for granted, like going to the movies. And so going out to watch a film should be a fun, inclusive experience. But for the deaf and hard of hearing community, it often comes with barriers and frustrations, whether it's like the lack of open caption screenings or poorly functioning closed caption devices, or a lack of understanding from the theater staff. As my mom's hearings worsened, she could no longer enjoy family movie nights with us at the theater due to all of these accessibility issues. So seeing her struggle really opened up my eyes to the broader issue, and I wanted to create a project that not only raised awareness to these barriers but also offered practical solutions to make movie theaters more inclusive. Yeah.
And the project is called Theaters Unsilenced. What impact has it had so far? And of course, I want to know if you hope it expands beyond Queens.
Yes. Okay. So the impact of Theaters Unsilenced has been so encouraging. Locally in Queens, It raised awareness among both moviegoers and theater staff about the importance of accessibility for the deaf and hard of hearing community. Theater staff have reached out to share how the project has helped them improve the experience for all patrons, from offering more consistent captioning options to creating a welcoming atmosphere. And members of the deaf and hard of hearing community have also shared how much it means to feel included in something as simple as movie outing, something that, again, many people take for granted. And so after my free open caption screening events, I conducted surveys, and many deaf and hard of hearing attendees mentioned that it was their first time in years watching a movie in a theater. So some even shared it was their first movie theater experience like ever. So that just really hit close to home, and it was so exciting for me to hear that this initiative gave them the opportunity. And so, yes, I do plan to expand Theaters Unsilenced beyond Queens because accessibility in the entertainment world should be a standard everywhere. Yeah, so according to the Hearing Loss Association of America, around 60.7 million people in the US have some degree of hearing loss. That's 1 in 15 Americans. And with hearing loss on the rise, expected to double by 2060, the need for greater accessibility is only going to grow. Unfortunately, many people, including those within the deaf and hard of hearing community, were either unaware of these options or met resistance due to a lack of understanding of the need for open captions. So Theaters on Silence has helped raise awareness and makes it possible for many people in the deaf and hard of hearing community who have avoided theaters for years or had never had the chance to experience the movies. So yeah, I'm gonna sustain the project further, and I've already created a guide on my website, which is www.deafandhardofhearingfriendly.com, and that helps other businesses train their staff on being deaf and hard of hearing friendly. And I'm updating it to include my hearing assistive and closed captioning device checklist, so more theaters and advocates can implement similar initiatives. And my hope is that for right now, to expand not only beyond Queens, but nationally and even globally. And right now, open captioning in movie theaters is required by law for only 4 regions, which is New York, Maryland, Hawaii, and Washington, D.C. So I'd love to raise awareness nationwide and internationally just to show how valuable these open captions can be.
So you've been very involved in your school. You've been involved also with Girl Scouts, with the Cookie Executive Committee and Leadership Institute. How do all these experiences shape your leadership style?
Yeah, so I think all of these activities play such an important role in me becoming a leader. Cookie Executives has just taught me so many leadership skills through working with other top cookie sellers. Whether that means we're deciding on what award some girls should get for their cookie selling, or brainstorming skills and techniques that we're gonna go ahead and embark on in order to sell the most cookies as possible. I think Executives is a great example for all girls to build their leadership and learn these networking, communication, and just courage in general. And I also do like cancer research. I think that also helps contribute to my leadership skills because it just shows me the importance of what it means to study something that's going to help so many other people. And so I think just being a part of something that you know is going to make a change and make a difference in itself is something that's going to make you into a leader.
You mentioned you've been a Girl Scout for 13 years. You've earned multiple awards. What does being a Girl Scout mean to you?
Yeah, so being a Girl Scout for 13 years has been a huge part of my life and personal growth. To me, being a Girl Scout means committing to make a positive impact on the world, learning to lead with confidence, courage, character, and compassion, and staying curious and open to new challenges. Girl Scouting has taught me the value of service and the value of resilience, and shows me that even small actions have a big impact on someone's life. It's also about the incredible community I'm a part of. My troop, my mentors, and the Girl Scouts of Greater New York, they all have encouraged me to dream big and aim high. And so Girl Scouts doesn't just inspire me to dream, it empowers me with the skills and the platform to make those dreams become a reality.
You use the word value. So I'm curious what you want others to know about the value of being a Girl Scout.
Yeah. So I would love others to know that being a Girl Scout goes far beyond earning badges or just selling cookies. It's a journey of discovering who you are and what you're capable of, and it's full of experiences that will help you grow into a confident and compassionate leader. And Girl Scouts provides you with the skills and the resources to empower you to explore your passions and take on meaningful projects and provides you with the platform to take action and make a real impact. Yeah, so being a Girl Scout connects you to your community and puts you in a place with other people who are just as dedicated to making a difference.
So I'm out of high school for more than 4.5 decades, and I know what it was like trying to juggle not only my schoolwork, but everything else I wanted to do in all the clubs. Aside from your advocacy work, you're also involved, as you noted, in cancer research, several leadership roles at Bronx High School of Science. How do you, Sarah, balance all these commitments and what keeps you motivated?
Yeah. So balancing all of these commitments has definitely taught me a lot about time management and prioritizing what truly matters. I try to keep a clear schedule and set realistic goals to make sure to carve out time for each area that I'm passionate about, whether that's my advocacy work, the cancer research, or the leadership roles in my high school. I've also learned a lot that being organized and being adaptable is super important. Things don't always go as planned. So, yeah, flexibility, being able to be okay with change is what I've realized. And the thing that keeps me motivated is just knowing that each of these commitments is contributing to something bigger. My cancer research work gives me a sense of purpose in advancing scientific knowledge, while my leadership roles at Bronx Science allow me to give back to a community that has helped me grow. And my advocacy work, especially with the deaf and hard of hearing community, connects deeply with my values and family experience. So each area fuels my drive to keep learning and making a difference. And that sense of purpose helps me balance it all out.
Let's talk about your future. Obviously, use the word change. So, lots of changes happening once you graduate. Talk a little about your future goals in terms of your advocacy for accessibility, but also your broader ambitions.
Yeah. So looking ahead, I'm committed to continuing my advocacy for accessibility, especially for the deaf and hard of hearing community. I want to expand Theaters Unsilenced beyond Queens to make open captions and other accommodations the standard. And I hope to develop partnerships with more organizations and ensure that inclusive practices are implemented widely so that no one feels excluded from the experiences that should be open to everybody. And so I hope that through raising awareness, open captions in movie theaters will become a law that's nationwide. And in terms of like broader career ambitions, I'm excited to pursue a path in medicine and public health where I hope to bridge gaps in accessibility and communication in healthcare. Ultimately, my goal is to be a physician who not only cares for the patients but also advocates for accessible and inclusive healthcare. And I believe that both science and advocacy are very powerful tools for change, and I'm excited to see where they take me.
And before I let you go, please remind our listeners about the website address again. I think it's important so they check it out.
Yes, please. Please check out www.deafandhohfriendly.com.
Sarah Lynn, I want to thank you so much for appearing here on the It's in Queens podcast.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
The Girl Scouts of Greater New York is a vibrant organization that empowers young women across the city to develop essential life skills, build confidence, and foster a deep sense of community and leadership. For those interested in learning more about the Girl Scouts of Greater New York or even joining a troop, you can visit their website at girlscoutsnyc.org. Now, I mentioned I love to get out in the fall, and I also love to spend time in movie theaters. But if you're looking for something to do this month in Queens, here's where you need to go. Rob Mackay each week brings us details on the It's in Queens website, and I'm going to share that website address with you right after his segment. But he also appears each week on this podcast to bring us details on some of the more exciting events that are happening in our borough. Here's this week's report.
Hi, Jeff. Maybe I shouldn't mention this because it might sell out, but it's a great one. If you can get tickets, it's really worth going to. Vitali is coming to Queens Theater this week. This guy is an illusionist extraordinaire. He can make faces disappear from driver's licenses. He can make photos and paintings come to life. He can practically bend steel. And of course, he makes audiences yell ooh and ah all the time. His first show is on November 23rd, Saturday at 7:30. And then the second one, which is Sunday, November 24th at 2 p.m., has audio description. I'm not sure if you know, but Queens Theater is dedicated to serving the community that lives with disabilities. Anyway, Jeff, that's it. I hope to see you. That is, if the illusionist doesn't make you disappear. All right, bye.
Thanks, Rob. And Rob's with the Queens Economic Development Corporation and Queens Tourism Council. And I mentioned that website before. Well, here it is, queens.com. See, you can't forget it. It's at the It's in Queens website, itsinqueens.com. And if you're interested in more business-related news, how to help your business or friends or family members, well, then head right over to the Queens Economic Development Corporation's website at queensny.org. And when you're there, or when you visit the itsinqueens.com website, well, sign up for their newsletters. That way you'll get notified right in your inbox about opportunities that are on the horizon. And by the way, when you visit any place in Queens, when you traipse the neighborhood or get out anywhere in Queens, well, take some photos, snap them, and share them with us. Make sure to use the hashtag #It'sInQueens, because who knows, your photo could become our photo of the week. I'm your host, Jeff Simmons, and that's it for this week's It's in Queens podcast.